Hello and welcome to the first live episode of the Dolman Way podcast where we discuss all things Bristol City. Today I'm here with myself and Jamie. How you doing, Jamie?
I'm good, Tom. How are you, mate?
Yeah, not bad, thank you.
Good.
Feeling a bit better after yesterday's result?
A bit better. Wow, I think that's an understatement. I'm very shocked, I'll be honest with you, considering we said before about the Blackburn game that we'll be happy with a draw and come away with a win is phenomenal.
And that, to add to that, the clean sheet as well. First clean sheet, I think the Derby game is back in December, so definitely.
There we go then. Yeah.
Overdue, definitely for sure. But I mean, neither of us were at the game, but we saw the highlights this morning and to the game on the radio. It sounded, to be fair, an improvement from the Birmingham game for sure. Still a little bit nervy at times, it sounded like, but with Robbie Cundy coming in, Rob Atkinson sounded like he had a good game as well. And even Andy Vyman filling it right wing back, he can play anywhere, can't he?
I don't know. Well, end of the day, everyone was questioning him at the start when he did this, why he's playing right wing, but then that's why Nigel Pearson's a manager and he's come up and scored the winner in the day, hasn't he? So there you go. So,
yeah, can't with much more than that.
Yeah. So
with Vyman, he's just. I think he's been this season has been his standout season for us. He's just come in and done the job wherever he's been asked to do it. I don't think he's actually played right back yet this year. He might have done for a couple of minutes in one or two of the games, but for him to just last minute be pulled in for a person at the right back and then still manage to score the winner in the 92nd minute, it shows the type of player he is. Doesn't it?
I'm not sure he was really expecting the ball from Joe Williams, considering. I still think that was a shot from Joe Williams, I'll be honest with you, but we're not going to complain for the cross. But yeah, I'm pleased anyway to get this, because like we said already, though, Blackburn have scored 1 goal in 8 games, and obviously Super Dan Bentley saves the penalty. Bradley Dack's return, he would part with 3 points in our first win since October. So I don't think there's much more you can really ask for that day. Clean sheet, saved the penalty, and 3 points.
Yeah, I think that's an important talking point is Dan Bentley, because he had that patch back in January, didn't he, when O'Leary took place really in the first team and Pearson's put his trust back in Bentley, it seems like. And I think he's earned that trust, especially with saving the penalty yesterday. I can't remember whether it was 1 or 2 penalties that O'Leary faced, but I mean, Bentley's come in and done the job and reassured his position in the number one jersey.
He's captain again, isn't he, as well? Obviously, when he was out of the squad, he was sometimes not even. I can't remember he was captain when he was on the bench, but he's come back in the squad now. He's made his presence known and become captain as well. And you can tell he's a leader. The way he speaks after the games, not like the players that want everyone to win, but you can tell he's more passionate than a lot of players. So he knows that this is massive for us. And like I said, now I think not categorically, I reckon we're safe. That's what I was saying.
No, I agree. I think that's definitely the one that's secured us the championship. I mean, I think, like you said, we were probably safe anyway, but it's a little bit more breathing room now that we can sort of enjoy the last 9 games going into the season. But elaborating on Bentley and the defence in general, really, I feel like the clean sheet's more impressive than the win, because we've won games since October. Obviously, we haven't won away, but getting that clean sheet after we've looked quite shaky defensively. I think there's a picture after the game when you see Bentley on the floor and all the defenders running towards him. I think it's nice. It's nice to see that they're finally rewarded for their hard effort.
No, like you said, Robbie Cundy making his first start ever for the debut for Bristol City. You got Rob Atkinson who's come back in the side, and obviously we've got a clean sheet without possibly our best defender, Callis. I'll say that, touch wood. Possibly not this season, but everyone's playing to their best. Callis is our best defender, and having a clean sheet without him against a team fighting for promotion. In the play, I think it's outstanding, and I will never doubt them Bentley again. That's all I'll say. Considering the start of the season. It's the turnaround he's had. Obviously, you could make a mistake next game and then go back to square one against Barnsley. But I think for now, I'm very happy. That's what I'll say. So.
Definitely. I think it'd be interesting to see when Callas is back fit, whether he's back fit for Tuesday or not, whether he does make the change and go straight back into the side. Because if I was Pearson, I'd be looking at that going, we've got a clean sheet. We've had to dig in because they had that 20 minutes in the second half where they had the penalty, hit the bar, had a couple of half chances as well. And that coming on gave the crowd a bit of a boost. But you're looking at that and I think you wouldn't want to risk disrupting the team after they've just come away with a solid performance like that. So it'll be interesting to see what he does on Tuesday, really.
Well, because I think 100% Blackburn are better than Barnsley, because both Barnsley are on the table. You'd think they have a bit of a chance playing that squad against them rather than Blackburn. We actually come away with the 3 points and a clean sheet against Blackburn, so I don't see why we can't play the same lads, really. But like I said about Cundy, if he's playing the full 90 minutes, his full debut, I don't know how match sharp he is, perhaps. I know he's also coming off the bench a lot, isn't he? So maybe he can't do a full 90 for like 3 days, two games in 3 or 4 days. So I'm surprised we see possibly one change just at the back, just to freshen it up, because like Simi back, because he's not really played much game time in recent months or so. So perhaps that could be only changes because of the match sharpness, really. But yeah, I think apart from that, I can't see anything else being changed.
Yeah, I know Naki Wells came on again and looked sharp.
Yeah.
You set up Williams for that assist.
Semenyo didn't look pleased when he came off. That's all I'll say, by the way. It was a massive shot, but
yeah. But I feel like Semenyo's been off the pace, really. I mean, I know he had that half chance at the very start of the game yesterday. I don't know if you saw in the highlights where he had the ball over the top from James and narrowly missed the post. But I feel like Wells has come on, and because he must be so frustrated, been sat on the bench for most of the season, and he's got the experience that you sort of need in the Championship. And I think he's proven that he's got that know-how how to get in behind defences, like he proved yesterday for the goal.
Yeah.
Whether he gives Wells a start with if Semenyo or Martin or Vyman, whoever needs a rest, it'd be interesting to see whether he gets a start.
Well, at the start of the season, I always said Wells is our first choice striker on the team sheet, and now look at that, he struggles to even get on the bench. And for me, sometimes because in the amount of players we've got, but we've got 18-man squad just about still, with Conding like cementing himself now properly in the Bristol City squad. It's nice to see some competition fighting at the back, like with Tim Close as well coming in January. Hopefully now for next season, looking defensively better. Like we said, we need to study perhaps some people with more experience, perhaps like we said in the previous episode about fullbacks and stuff like that. But for me, I think Wells should start, I reckon, up top. But don't know with who, because I don't know what Wyman's going to play. Put Wyman on the fullback again, so it could be a starting up top with Chris Martin or Wyman. I don't know what's in Nigel Pearson's head. But for me, I think give Wells a run out, let Semenyo perhaps come off the bench, make an impact, because we know how lively Semenyo is, and maybe the Barnsley lads might not expect to come off the bench like that. So it could be my prediction anyway.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a fair shout. Looking ahead to the Barnsley game, then I know they're right down the bottom, but they've turned unbeaten in the last 2. I know it was 2 draws, but drawing against Fulham yesterday at home, so it's going to be a place to go on Tuesday night, isn't it, for us?
Well, like you said, Fulham top of league, running away with it, and you know what Fulham did to us. But this is a Championship; anyone can beat anyone, which is the whole point of football. But for me, I think we should come away with the 3 points against Barnsley. So that's my prediction, first of all. In terms of how we do it, I don't see us scoring more than 2 goals. I say that. I don't think we have really this season. How do we score more than 3? I don't think.
No.
I think it's. I can't remember if we scored 3, but I know we scored a lot of times 2 this season. Like you said previously, we need to score 3 goals a lot of time to win the game. But for me, I think if we score early on against Barnsley, the heads will drop, and hopefully the Oakwell. I'll say hopefully the Barnsley fans get the Barnsley players back early, and hopefully we win the game comfortably. But that's not always the case, is it? So
no. As I said, anyone can beat anyone, can't they, as well? But hopefully we can take some of that feeling from yesterday, the momentum from yesterday, and try and keep another clean sheet. I'll be happy with a point, to be honest with you, again, if going into the game on Saturday as well. I mean, like I said, we're not really playing for anything now, so maybe Barnsley got a bit more to play for, which might spur them on a bit more than us. But hopefully, without making too many changes and disrupting the momentum, we can, like I said, at least get a point or so. But yeah.
It's not consistent enough, that's the problem. We go win, draw, loss, win, loss. We just need to be more consistent. So if we get a win against Barnsley, hopefully get the momentum towards the end of the season, have a good run, and start next season with positively, hopefully. So,
and that's the thing that Pearson mentioned as well, and that he said it's about ending the season on a high, not letting the season just dry out, really. Especially with changes that are likely to come in the summer. Probably Semenyo and Scott looking with a move away to the Premier League, which could open the door for, like you said, someone like Naki Wells, or getting more experience adds in for next season. I think, touching on him quickly, I think Tim Close has been an absolute class signing for us.
Oh, 100%.
The only sign that we made in January. He looked reassured on it at the back.
I mean, that's what I said. Didn't like the Conde at the back making his full Bristol City debut, and you got a man like Tim Closer who's been been the captain of the Norwich City side, who's managed to win promotion to the Premier League. You're not going to pretty much want anyone else other than him. If you had picked a dream centre half to play with, someone who's got experience of winning the title in the Championship and getting promoted to the Premier League, I think that's perfect. And the fact that we're able to get him on a free as well, no one else managed to get him, is still obviously quite strange. But if he's happy to stay here till next season, perhaps for next season as well, that'd be great.
Yeah, definitely. He's getting on a bit now, isn't he? But like I said, he doesn't look out of place at all. So it'll be interesting to see whether he stays with us or Pearson if he wants him to stay with us. Because I think he said that he's surprisingly, because he doesn't normally talk about the transfers this early on, but looking to get more centre backs in the summer. But like I said, with Cundy having a good performance yesterday, he might have changed his mind, maybe giving Cundy a few more starts.
Well, if we're playing 5 at the back, we're going to need more, aren't we? But
yeah,
Pearson changes formation, but he doesn't, so you can't predict what he's going to play. So, because of Callas, obviously you've got Callas, Cundy, Atkinson, Close, all healthy competition there as well in the centre half position. So, perhaps he wants to loan Cundy out to Football League Club again at the end of the season. It all depends really how I think he finishes this season for me. But I wouldn't say no to maybe a Championship defender, but I think it's got to be a defender of experience. Because I understand the model, we buy young players and sell them on for more. And like we done with Webster, but I think for me, we need a player similar to Tim Close who will get that side into the Premier League, because we're getting a bit stale now in the Championship, aren't we, I believe. So I think we need to possibly next season look for more Premier League quality players, not Premier League experience players, shall I say. So
yeah, you could say that. Although the only thing I'd counter to that is, I think it's probably a quite controversial opinion, but Matty James, for me, hasn't really been that influential this year, especially since he's been injured. Since he's come back from I
was going to say, the start of the season, like, he wasn't too bad. Like I said, it's because you're at that age now where you have that injury, you think, if this just started his career, he would have come back and been more rejuvenated. But I think because coming towards the end of his career now, he kind of senses, okay, this is kind of, I have to deal with this now for the rest of my career kind of thing now, because I only have 1 or 2 seasons left, to be fair. Same with Andy King, obviously. I know King's injured as well. But they're kind of in a similar boat in where they're playing in terms of age. So it's just, Premier League is a lot different physically wise to the Championship, and some players can deal with it, like Tim Close, like we've seen. Matty James performed so well at Coventry last season. It was quite a big surprise to see him not do incredibly as he did last season, but there's still plenty of time left in the season. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, hopefully he can prove himself a bit more. I feel like him and Andy King are, obviously they played under Pearson before, but they were almost like a Wade Elliott for us when we were back in League One. They're just there to sort of carry the youngsters that Pearson's putting into the side now and give them that helping hand that they need to make the step up to the first team. But anyway, moving on to the West Brom game, then they're a side who's been in freefall really at the moment. I
have no idea what's going on there at all. It's very, very strange. Steve Bruce as well. I think sort it out, and he
hadn't done that as well. And I remember even when I can't remember the name of the manager who was there before, but when I went to the West Brom game back in
Valerian Ishmael, I think it was, wasn't it? Was it Ishmael? I think it was.
So but they weren't anything. I mean, they I think it was 4-1 in the end. They beat us, but they didn't look particularly good, even though they were.
You don't have to beat us, did they? Let's be honest. But I know what you're trying to say. Yeah.
But, so I reckon that's a good shout of us getting another positive victory really at home again, where our form's been good of recent times. But what's your thinking on the Saturday game?
I think it all depends really who we play on the Tuesday. If we're playing the same 11 as we do on Tuesday, then he's going to make some changes for the Saturday. For me, if we come through with a positive result with a win on Tuesday, I think we'll possibly go and look for the draw rather than the win, because they get them. I think we'll go for a win rather than a draw, because we'll get the positive momentum going still and keep those wins going. But it's just kind of hard still. We think that we're going to good run of form. Everything's up at Bristol City, and then we'll lose 3 in a row. Then, so I can't. I think we're the only team in the Championship which you can't predict what it's going to be. Well, I'm kind of predicting Barnsley, Peter, we can predict them losing. I think us is just potluck.
Yeah, and the fact we haven't won back-to-back games all season as well. I can't remember last time. I don't think I've actually ever heard that stat before. Before we've done it this year. I mean, it probably has happened, but yeah, like I think I'm the same as you. It depends how Tuesday goes for me as to what the result is on Saturday. But it'll be nice to see, and at least a back-to-back win, whether it comes this week or another week, but before the end of the season, just so we can break.
How many games left on the season?
There's 9 left, I think. 9 left, not many left at all.
No.
But
too late for playoffs, you reckon?
Too late for playoffs? maybe a little bit too late for that.
Okay. Oh.
If we won every game, you never know, but I can't see that happening personally.
No, I'm joking. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, West Brom. I don't know who they bought in the January transfer window, but like we mentioned, they're in free fall at the moment. I think they're probably looking down now as well. Obviously, they're not in any way in a relegation battle or down the bottom, but I think they're probably going to miss out on the playoffs this year, aren't they?
Well, we're only 7 points behind them in the table, to be fair. Seeing West Brom in 14th is kind of staggering, really, considering where they were at the start of the season. And I think they're probably one of the favourites to win promotion back to the Premier League. So, obviously, we can't take anything for granted. You know, the saying goes, if you ever wanted to win in bad run of form, you just come to Bristol City and, we get a result. So, I have to say, I've seen stranger things happen. That's all I'll say. So, for me, I think a draw, considering West Brom haven't won still. I just can't be bothered us being the only team that Steve Bruce gets first wins against, because you just know them for next season to get momentum going. And I don't like West Brom fans. No offense, West Brom fans, but I'd rather them not do so well now until the end of the season, and then just for now, by next season, if they want to improve, they're more than welcome to. But considering what the West Brom fans have been through this season, I don't think any wins really is going to change the fact of how poorly they've been. So, but for me, I still think a draw will be a good result, nevertheless.
Based on our form then and the week ahead, what do you reckon between the two games? Are you going for a full 6 points or 4 points?
I'm saying a 1-0 win against Barnsley. I think we're another clean sheet, I reckon. A back-to-back to win. And I'll be honest, I see it. I reckon a 1-1 against West Brom, I reckon. Yeah, that's my prediction.
Take a 4 points from the next
100%. Yeah,
that's a fair shot. I reckon we'll get a draw as well on Tuesday, and then I've got a feeling I'm not sure what the crowd's going to be like next week, but if it's a big crowd, West Brom will bring a load down, won't they? They always do.
Yeah.
A racket. So I reckon it'll be a good game next Saturday. But I'll go for the 4 points. So I think we'll win at home next week, and then get a point at least against Barnsley on Tuesday night.
Mm-hmm. Do you reckon we'll against West Brom? Yeah.
Sorry?
Do you reckon we'll beat West Brom? Is that what you reckon?
I reckon we'll beat West Brom, yeah. Just because of, even though we haven't been getting the results in, we've been performing a lot better since January. And West Brom have been the opposite. They've sort of gone from right at the top to now sliding down the table, not really picking up many points here and there. So I think it'll be an interesting game because, like you said, with City, it's unpredictable. You never know what's going to happen on the day. But based off of our performances recently, I'm optimistic going into it. Definitely.
I'm not got a problem with that. It's all.
Yeah, I always try and be optimistic, but it's always shattered by them. Come 3 o'clock on a Saturday or 7:45 on the Tuesday.
But 3 or 5 on a Saturday, we're 1-0 down normally.
Yeah. Talking about West Brom, actually, do you remember that game a couple of years ago when we went 3-0 up in about I think it was 20 minutes. We were 3-0 up.
Yeah.
Live on Sky, and then
we just managed to win 3-2, didn't we? I think was it 3-2? Yeah.
It was 3-2. I think that sums up City really. That game alone, we can be 3-0 up, and it's never.
Yeah. The life of Bristol City fan.
Definitely. But fingers crossed for the week ahead, and hopefully we're having another positive chat next Sunday with more points in the back.
Hopefully more guests as well. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? More than 2 of us, so more opinions to chat about. So yeah,
definitely. Well, cheers, Jamie, for the short chat.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
And let's fingers crossed again for this week coming. All the best.
See you later, guys.